Okay, guys, welcome back. We are moving right along. We are in the same 8A Unit 1 packet, and we are on page 24, okay, right here. And I will confess, this is the second time I've tried to make this video because my dog keeps howling. So I am going to show you what I've already written. We started the video a few minutes ago. I'm restarting it. Okay, so the first thing is we're doing lesson 3.4, which also includes concepts from 3.1 through 3.3. We're moving right along because this is all review, okay? Solving two-step equations. First thing, I think this is the only definition today. A solution is a number that can be substituted for a variable in an equation to make a true statement. So I'm going to wait a minute so you guys can actually write that out since I've already written it. If you have to pause the video to do that, go ahead. And then we are going to move on to problem number 2, okay? We're going to skip around a little bit today. It says to solve the following equations to show work in the space and then check your solution when check your solution is indicated. So I kind of sometimes make you do it, sometimes I don't. This first one, we won't do that, okay? So the big mistake a lot of people make with this first type of problem is that you're not distributing the 2, you're distributing the negative 2, okay? So we have 6x, negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Again, we're distributing that negative 2, okay? So negative 2 times negative 5 is plus 10. Equals 46. We're going to combine some like terms here. That is 4x plus 10 equals 46. We will subtract 10 from both sides. 4x equals what? 36. And this is a nice one. Divide by 4. We get x equals 9. Okay, and I didn't require you to check that solution. Okay. Moving right along, we'll do one more example like this. Number 4, I do say to check the solution in this one. First thing, you could absolutely distribute that if you'd like, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to make our lives a little easier, and I'm actually going to multiply both sides. Multiply both sides by, let's do 5 halves, okay, by the reciprocal. And I think that will make our lives, if I could actually write, a little bit better. Those cancel. So on the right side, I'm left with 9 minus 2b. Okay, over here, we can just do it on the side, negative 14 times 5 halves. I hope you see that you can cross simplify. Negative 7 times 5 is negative 35. Okay, I think that makes this problem a lot easier. We are going to subtract 9 from both sides. We get negative 44 equals negative 2b. Divide by negative 2. And we get b equals 22. Okay, negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay, now on this one, I ask you to check your solution. So what we do is we take that solution, substitute it back in for our letter b, and simplify. Okay, so we're going to have negative 14 on the left equals 2/5 times 9 minus 2 times 22. Okay, you'll see that's where I take that and plug it in, okay? Negative 14 equals 2/5 times 9 minus, what is that, 44? That's going to give me negative 35, okay? Negative 14 equals 2/5 times negative 35. Again, I always cross simplify to make my life easier. Negative 7, we've got negative 14 equals negative 14, and we are good, okay? Moving right along to page 25. Okay, let's get into some more interesting problems. Let's do a couple word problems here, okay? Let's go to number 6. I like this one. Zara worked 80 hours last week. She had $86 deducted from her earnings for taxes. If she had $714 left after tax deduction, how much does Zara earn per hour? Let M equal the amount earned per hour, okay? So let's see. M is the amount earned per hour, okay? She worked 80 hours last week. Well, 80 hours, but we don't know how much she earned. So 80 times some amount is going to give us the total. She took out, so that's subtracting, $86. I like to see dollar signs on all of those, okay? And what is she left with? $714. There you have it. Okay, I literally go word by word. And now we can solve this thing. It's not that hard. I'm going to add 86 to both sides. That's going to be 80m equals, let's see if my math in my head is right, that's 800. Oh yeah, that gives us a nice number. Divide by 80, you get M equals $10. And make sure you put your labels on there. That's the amount earned per hour, so it's $10 per hour. Okay, that's a fun little problem. Let's look at number 7. Below is a rectangular stage for the upcoming One Direction concert. Solve for X if the perimeter of the stage is 116 feet. Okay, so perimeter equals 116 feet. I hope you remember, you've done this plenty of times, the perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay, so we know that it doesn't matter which one, let's say this is length, perimeter equals 2 times 4x plus 2 times, and our width is 3x plus 2. Okay, I'm going to actually cross that off because we know our perimeter is 116. Okay, and now it's just a matter of solving, and you guys should be pretty good at this by now. 8x plus, again, we're going to distribute that, 6x plus 4. We get, let's see, 116 equals 14x plus 4. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Get 112 equals 14x. Divide by 14. Okay. Variable always first, okay? Remember that, variable first, okay? So I'm going to put it over here. X equals, what's 112 divided by 14? Let's see, that's 8, I think. Let's see, 32. Yep. X equals 8 feet, okay? Don't forget your labels, and don't forget to put your variable first, okay? I do like 8, but in the interest of making this video not uber long, let's see which one I like better. We can skip this one for now. Let's go to page 26, okay? Moving right along. We're on page 26. Let's see which one is my favorite. We'll go to 10. I like 10, okay? So we have 2/10 times the quantity 15z minus 5 equals 4 times the quantity 4z plus 1. Okay, I don't want you to use a calculator. I want you to think about this logically. Now, we could absolutely multiply the decimal out, but I would much rather in this situation work with fractions, okay? So I hope you all see that 0.2 or 2/10 actually simplifies down to 1/5. And I'm actually going to write this as a fraction because I think it's going to make our lives a lot easier when we're doing this problem, okay? 15z minus 5 is 4 times 4z plus 1, okay? Distribute. 1/5 times 15 is what? 3z. Don't forget you're distributing to everything inside. 1/5 times 5 is going to be 1, so minus 1. And then we got 16z plus 4 on the right. It would help if I actually wrote my z, right? Okay, I'm going to subtract 16z from both sides. We're going to get a negative 13z minus 1 equals 4. Let's go ahead and add 1 to both sides. We get negative 13z equals 5, okay? Divide by negative 13, and z is going to equal negative 5/13, okay? Just a little FYI for this class, I never put the negative on the bottom. I always put it on the top or out front, okay? So here I have it on top, and that's what I prefer, negative 5/13. Oopsie. It would help if I could write that out correctly. Negative 5/13, okay? Moving right along, we are going to go to page 27, okay? Let's see what we got here. Equations, this is important. You guys should have learned this with Mr. Rivera, but it's worth reviewing because it's important. Equations do not always have one solution. An equation that is true for all values of the variable is an identity. Very important that you memorize that term, okay? Identity. And the solution for this type of problem is all real numbers, which we're going to write like that, okay? An R with 2 lines, okay? What else? You can also say it's an infinite number of solutions. So we said identity, or you can just use that R, okay? Sometimes equations have no solutions, right? I think you've seen that last year. if there is no value that can make the equation true. And sometimes you're going to see me write it like that, a 0 with a line through it, okay? So let's look at a few of these. Example 1. What do we got here? 3 times the quantity 3x plus 6 equals 9 times the quantity x plus 2. I'm going to go ahead and multiply that out. 9x plus 18. You guys should be really good at this. Sure, already have a clue when both sides are the same, but I want you to go ahead and subtract the 9x from both sides. We're going to get 18 equals 18, okay? When you have both sides equal each other, that means identity, or you can just write infinite number of solutions, etc., okay? So we'll just use that symbol. Example 2. Same thing. We're just going to go ahead and solve. Negative 4g plus 3 equals negative 4g plus 6. Okay. I see what's happening already. Okay, let's add our 4g to both sides. I'm just going to warn you guys, my dog, I'm home by myself, and my dog is kind of going crazy, so I think he's at the door going to howl in a second, and we're going to just deal with it, okay? Does 3 equal 6? Never does 3 equal 6. So that means there's no solution, okay? And you can write that on the side if you want. No solution, okay? Example 3, negative 2/5 times 10x minus 30. Let's see what we got here. Let's do some cross canceling, okay? That's going to be 1. Oh, hold on. Let's write it out again. That's going to make it easier for you guys. Negative 2/5 times 10x. I'm actually going to go ahead and write it all out so you can see what I'm doing. Plus negative 2/5 times negative 30. Okay, let's just do that real quick so we can get the distribution down. That's going to give me negative 4x. That's going to give me positive 12. And then the other side's really easy to distribute, right? We've got a negative 4x plus 12. Okay, we are going to add 4x to both sides. I hope you see right away 12 equals 12 is always true. So we're going to have an infinite number of solutions. What that really means, guys, no matter what number you put in for x, you're always going to get a true statement, okay? And then example 4 asks us to describe and correct the error. Okay, let's see what they did here. Well, 24y plus 72 looks pretty good. 24y plus 72, that looks pretty good. Here's where we go wrong, okay? What I would like, let's not do this. And they say the solution is y equals 0. That is just not true. Okay, so you have 24y plus 72 equals 24y plus 72. Okay, I always want you to move the variable term first. We're going to subtract 24y from both sides. We get 72 equals 72. And you guys should recognize that because the two sides are equal to each other, all real numbers or infinite number of solutions. Okay, I want you to skip to page 29, okay? I'm trying to keep this relatively short for me. So we're on 29, and this is going to be our last page, okay? I think this is the most interesting type of problem here. We are going to be asked to write an equation with all real numbers as the answer, okay? So one of these guys, right? Your equation must have variables on both sides of the equal sign, okay? Use the distributive property on both sides of the equal sign. We can do that. And no coefficients of 1, -1, or 0, okay? So really on the left side, I start with anything. I just want to make sure that it's a big enough number, and you'll see what I mean, okay? So let's just start with something like 8 times 9x plus 6, okay? I just made those up. I typically like even numbers, and I'll show you why, okay? In order for this side to equal this side, and I don't want you to write the same thing over, okay? That's not going to cut it. Let's get creative, okay? 8 times 9, we know is 72x, okay? Let's pick some other numbers that multiply to 72. Okay, how about 2? If I put 2 there, 2 times what equals 72? I hope you guys see it's 36x, okay? 72x, okay? Remember, we want both sides to be the same. 8 times 6 is 48. Oh, bad math. Okay, 48. 2 times what is 48? Look at that. Both sides equal. I want you to prove it. Minus 72x. Minus 72x, 48 equals 48. Done. All real numbers, okay? It's as simple as that. I want to show you guys, it doesn't say this on here, but I want you to go a step further, okay? Here it says all real numbers. Let's do one with no solution. And I'm going to show you, I always, let's just do an extra one, okay? You can grab a piece of paper, do it on the side, wherever you want to. When I'm doing something like this, where I'm asked to find all real numbers, no solution, and then one solution, I always, always, always start here, okay? Start with all real numbers, do that one first. It's going to make your life easier. Then when we're looking for no solution, I am literally going to copy down the same thing I did here. 8 times 9x plus 6, okay? I'm just going to use the same number. Now, I'm even going to go a step further. I'm going to do 2 times 36x, okay? I want the first two terms to be the same because I want to get rid of them. I want them to cancel out. We've got 72x. We've got 72x. 8 times 6 is 48, okay? The only number I don't want here is 24 because I don't want this to be 48. I want there to be no solution. So you guys can pick any darn number you want. Let's just pick 12, okay? That's 24. Watch what happens. Sorry, it would help if you could see. Subtract 72x because we always get rid of the variable term first. 48 equals 24. In no way does 48 equal 24. No solution, okay? So literally, this is the hardest one because I have to come up with it. Then I literally copy everything down and I just change this last number for no solution, okay? Let's go to one solution, okay? Again, I'm going to start with this. 8 times 9, and the parameters are still the same, okay? 9x plus 6 equals 2 times, and you know what? I just don't want, 72x plus 48? I don't want these to be 72x or 48. So just pick any other numbers. It doesn't matter. 2 times 9 is going to be 18. That won't match up. We're good there. And let's see, what other number could we pick? We don't want 48. Let's just pick a little number. You could have picked anything you want. We could have different answers, and that's okay. Plus 8. Okay, go ahead and solve this guy. Minus 18x. Minus 18x is going to give me 54x plus 48 equals 8. Subtract 48 from both sides. I get 54x equals negative 40. Divide by 54, divide by 54. I get x equals negative 40 over 54. That is, I hope you see, not going to cut it because it is not simplified. Let's divide both top and bottom by 2. We get negative 20 over 27. Mrs. Pinto, let's move that up so you can actually see. And there you have it, okay? So we did one where we had all real numbers. We want both sides to equal each other. We did one with no solution, where the two sides will never equal each other. And then we did one where we get one solution, okay? I would strongly suggest that you practice these, okay? Parameters are always going to be the same. Get a clean piece of paper and just go through. Okay, I'm going to start with the all real number one. Then I'm going to go to no solution. Then I'm going to go to one solution. And I would just come up with examples till you get good at it, okay? And that is all for today. You can start your homework.